I grew up in an interesting place, Flushing, Queens. It was and is diverse, filled with all kinds of people. It has a long and proud history. A decade before Newark was settled as Puritan theocracy, a group of Quakers in Flushing signed a revolutionary document, guaranteeing religious freedom for everyone, not just for themselves. The year was 1657. They were radical, brave, and peaceful. I liked them. Through the centuries, Flushing has remained a tolerant community, welcoming immigrants from all over the world. It made the Guinness Book of World Records as the most diverse community in the United States. And Queens is credited with being the most ethnically diverse urban area in the world. Growing up, we squeezed onto buses and subways with people from all over the globe. We waded in the rough tides of the Atlantic with people who spoke dozens of different languages. We ate a hodgepodge of foods: dim sum, bagels, pizza. We even ventured into Corona just to visit the Lemon Ice King. Within this sea of diversity and uncertainty, my close friends were mostly white and Roman Catholic. We showed up at Mass on Sundays and on holy days. We sought absolution for our sins. We wore our ashes and we carried our palms. The world just outside our door was colorful, intriguing, and unpredictable. But our rituals and group identity kept us insulated. We weren't just an indistinguishable part of this churning tide of humanity. We knew where we belonged. When I made the bold move of crossing the Hudson and moving to New Jersey, I joined my local parish. But I was increasingly uncomfortable and felt like an outsider, in ways I never had when surrounded by people who didn't speak English and who had customs that differed greatly from my own. The Catholic Church's stance on the role of women, contraception, and homosexuality gnawed at me. The way in which they had handled the child abuse crisis infuriated me. When neighbors began fighting for legislation that would guarantee marriage equality and religious liberty in the state of New Jersey, I joined the battle. I wrote letters, I made telephone calls, I marched in rallies. This put me officially at odds with the church and with old friends. I was no longer a member of the club. I no longer fit in. It was unnerving and unsettling. But the broader world, with all its diversity, was a far more welcoming place than I had perceived it to be as a child. People of all races, religions, and backgrounds are more accepting and more willing to let me stand on my own and to offer support than I had imagined. Standing outside a group that demands conformity has been sad, scary, liberating, but surprisingly, it feels safer. Rather than serving as an anchor in turbulent seas, my old group identity was pulling me under. I had to cut the line. I was on my own, but not really. I've always admired those 17th century Dutch Quakers who risked their lives to give not just themselves, but all of us, liberty of conscience and freedom. But I now realize that we have to be courageous enough to take it for ourselves and to demand that possibility for others.